Hi, Paul from Contemporary Synth here. In these tutorials, we look at the technical and artistic capabilities of the Roland Fantom workstation. And today I'm looking at the traditional Christmas carol, We Three Kings of Orient Are. It's in E minor and it's in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's not hard to imagine it in a 6/4 kind of swing beat. But I'm going to take it a step further and use one of the capabilities that we recently received on this workstation, and that is to create custom time signatures. So I'm going to try it out in 5/4 and see what we can do with that. 5/4 is an interesting culture. There are a lot of songs, but it's a very small minority. The most famous one probably is Dave Brubeck with Take 5, where it's and Everything's All Right Now from Jesus Christ Superstar. Even Mars by Holst. They're all kind of 3+2. There are a couple of 2+3, but it's almost always at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to stick with that. I know there are a couple of exceptions, but that's kind of how most of the 5/4 songs roll. So I'm going to go with that. Here we'll see how We Three Kings fares. I'm in an initial scene, and the first thing I'm going to do is put drums in channel 8. I want to drum along with it, but I've learned, and we've talked about through these tutorials, it's easier to drum when you have some other beats, either a louder metronome or a subdivided metronome, or in this case, I'm going to put some other beats down using the pattern recorder, and I'll show what I mean. All right, so I'm going to go into, first I'm going to pick my drum set, and I'm just going to go with the default kit for now, and I'll show you how it's kind of cool when you switch kits after you've created a rhythm. Go into record and set the time signature to 5/4. I'll set my tempo to 130-ish. And from there, instead of hitting start, I'm going to go to TREC for the pattern recorder and go to 2 measures. Now what I want to enter, I know that this is my shaker, and I want to enter, which is at 1, 2, and then a swing, and then the downbeat. So let's get that in here. Here is quarter beats, so I see 5 of them, because I've been 5/4. I'm going to go to 1/8 notes, and now I see 10 of them. My pattern starts, which are just those 2 1/8 notes. And I'll put them in both sections. And then it ends with da-da-da-da, bum, bum. And those are right on the downbeat. So this is 4 and 5 and. Put those in the other one too. 4 and 5 and. So now I should have something recognizable. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So all I need now are those swing notes in the middle. And the way you get those, and we've talked about this before too, is with the triplet section. So if I go to 1/12 here, now I have 3 beats for every 1 quarter note. And because I have 5 quarter notes, I now have 15 lights total, and each 3 is a beat. And that's why this is my beat 4, this is my beat 5. What I want is this done by... that's a pickup and then beat 3, which is going to be pickup and beat 3. And let's try that out. Let's put that in both. And let's make these a little louder. All right. Isn't that neat how the swing beat really brings the rhythm alive? Now I want to accent that with some wood blocks. So I'm going to put 2 light wood blocks on the swing notes and then a heavier wood block on beat 4. All right, I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then the last thing I want to add is a tambourine, which is here. I want to do triplets on the end. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And the way you do that is, so again, this is beat 5, this is beat 4. I want a hard note on the beginning of the triplet, and then 2 soft notes, a hard note, and 2 soft notes. And I'll put it on the other measure too. It's hard, soft, hard, soft. All right. So that's fun. Oh, I could keep adding stuff all day, and you can too. What I want to do now is drum with it a little bit. So I go back to my pattern, and I hit record. Now, if you look carefully, you will see that this record destination is set to B, and up here in the gray it says pattern B, and the box is on the next row. I want to overdub the sample or the pattern I've already created, and I need to change the recording destination to mix. And when I do that, you see it goes back to A in the box. I'll switch back and forth so you can see how it's going back and forth. So I want to stay on A for now. I can bring my tempo up a bit. And I'm going to do and I want to end with the that snare roll right on beat 5. That's the way Steve Gadd did in 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. That's a really cool way to end a riff. So I'll try that here. Let's go to my wait note, get the click so I get the tempo. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's all I need to do for the drums. I'm going to add, and this is a trick you can try. The very end of the song is going to end with this riff, and I want it to end with a kick. Now, in other tutorials, I've created a whole other pattern, sometimes even a whole other song, just for that last note, just for that last measure. I'm going to show you a different way to do that here. If I go to the end of my sequence, I'm going to add a kick drum right at the end, right there. And I'm going to change its duration and make it as small as it will let me. I'm going to move it, and I'll change the grid and let me move it as far right as I can. Actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to get some of these guys on the downbeats. It's kind of embarrassing. And I need to make the velocity of that last note match the velocities of the first notes. And now listen. So you hear a very slight doubling of that kick, but you're not going to notice it when the song's playing, and you're really going to notice it at the end of the song where it goes da-da-da-da, thunk, and you hear that. So that's what I want to do there. All right, that's it for the drums. Next will be channel 7, and I'm going to put the bass in here. Oh, let me show you what I meant with the different patterns, though. If I go to some of these other drum kits, you can get some neat sounds. Anyway, it's kind of fun to experiment around once you've built your pattern. All right, bass. Similarly, I'm going to pick just the default acoustic bass because I think this is a good acoustic bass song, but I could see experimenting and getting something a little punchier if you wanted to play with it. Now, this is going to be a kind of a bluesy riff. So I wrote it out because I'm not sure I could improvise it in real time. I'm going to slow it down because it's very hard to play. I'm going to run it up to 20 measures. I know that's kind of long. Sorry about that. And go right to the wait note. Let's see what we can get. Okay, now for the next track, I want to put some keys in here, and I get that not everybody would go for this. I want to put a marimba sound. That's a good Christmassy holiday feel, but it's still kind of mysterious. Some would argue that this just is creating clutter in the music. So if it's not your thing, I respect that. You can take it out. I'm going to put it in, and maybe I'll mix it later when I play with it. I'm just going to play the basic chords and the basic melody of the song to create some kind of a basis for what's going on with the solos. Length is still 20. Back up to tempo. Oh, for the tempo, something else that's kind of interesting. If you want to type your tempo in directly, you can do shift numeric here. And I've learned that, so I can type in 130. You have to type in both zeros or it won't pick it up. It took me a while to figure that out. So that's a way to get, if you know exactly what your tempo is, you can put it right in instead of trying to mess with the dials. Wait, no, let's go. Okay, and that's it. And that's really going to be it for my accompaniment. I'm going to group that, set that into a group, and I'm going to go to the group menu and run that out to 20 measures. I'm going to make it a song. And then I'm going to edit the song and set it to, it says repeat twice. It's going to play twice. It's going to repeat twice, or is it going to play it? It's going to play it twice. And I want to launch it with a button. And the easiest way to do that, because I'm going to start my solo over here and I want to start this at the same time, the easiest way to do that is hold down Shift and press the button. That takes you right to the menu. You can do that with button. I used S2, but you can go to S1. Here's something cool. You can go to the mod wheel. You can go to wheel 1, wheel 2. You can even go to the bend. And this is kind of fun. So this defaults to bend range up of 2. You can set this to whatever you want. There's range up, range down, fine tuning, and then bend mode, which is either normal or catch. And in normal, it starts with the key no matter what. But with the catch last, if this is up, it starts with the note normally. So again, if it's here, even if I put this up, it starts at the high note, but in the other one, it doesn't. All right. Anyway, I'm going to Shift S2, and I want to make this start stop, which is around 113, which is here. Again, if I press it, it starts but does not keep going because I'm on only momentary. But this is really fast. So you could that's really cool. So maybe I'll play around with that sometime. But for now, I just want latch. So I'll leave that there. All right, for the solo, I'm going to pick, now this is going to feel kind of random, but it makes perfect sense to me. I'm going to pick an oboe because this is nice, oriental, mysterious kind of feel, which is what you would think of this caravan of mystic advisors, which is perfect. Now there are a bunch of oboe sounds on here, and those there's just something I didn't like about each one. I love the word lonely oboe, but there's something weird going on with the portamento, and it's kind of reedy, so I stick with oboe MF, which stands for mezzo forte, not like I'm an oboe UMF, but it's a very nice sound. So what I'm going to play is my oboe with my song. I've written out another part, which of course I'll share, and then I'll play around with the piano, and then that'll be that. All right, here is we 3 + 2 over 4 kings. there's that kick at the end. Perfect. All right, well, that's super fun. These chords are easy. It's just E minor, B7, and G, so you could play this if it's something that you wanted to give a try. Again, I will put the oboe part, the bass part, and the lead sheet in my Google Drive folder and put links in the description, so you're welcome to try it out at home. I hope you find this valuable, and I hope it gives you some ideas. If so, please leave a comment. I know I'm only about 50% accuracy for answering the questions, but I enjoy it, and I love to see the Fantom community kind of coming together. Do leave a comment. Please subscribe if you're finding these helpful, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.